It's working now? Alright, good. Hello, CSK. Yeah, it's another stream. The Star Kids were requesting a bedtime story. So I thought I'd do a bedtime reading stream for them. We'll be reading The Little Prince. We probably can't like read it complete straight because it wouldn't be very legal to just read it kind of like audiobook style, so we'll read it and like discuss what we think about it every chapter. I think that would make it transformative content. Can you tell the story about the time you banned me? I say shall we, okay? I said that we shall we. You said you forgave me for that. Show me. You did. I never forgot. You really did not forget. Dad. Okay, let me add something to make it maybe a little more cozy. 1 second. Greenhouse table. I'm borrowing Rennie's nighttime table. Night table. Upload. Let's see. Because I did drop off the Star Kids with Fruit's casket, so let's get things properly set up while they're over there. Let's see. Documents. And then VTuber assets. And then, oh yeah, I had to restart like my whole thing, my entire setup, because my PC needed to do an update. So I restarted everything, and then I connected everything back in. So, okay, let me see. My overlays, and then frame art. Right. There you go. Ah, that's nice. It's good color. That's so comfy. Okay. All the way at the top. Let's put it at the bottom here. Oh. Actually, I do want it to be in front of me though. Okay. We're back and Zera's still folded. Is he simping over Opal? Opal does really have a really nice voice though. She does. I think they both have a very nice voice. You guys think so too? I wonder how people do those mommy voices. I wanna do mommy voice, but I don't know if my voice has the right kind of pitch for it. Or not pitch, but like, maybe I could probably train my voice to sound mommy. Maybe I'll look it up later. I wanna be able to do like an ada, you know. I don't have the voice for it. Are you guys ready for some ASMR reading? not ready to sleep, well, I'm going to put you to sleep because you need the sleep. I'm so tired. Well, thankfully, I have a little story time for you. I don't know if it's legal for me to show the actual book on screen, so I think I'll just read it. You took melatonin. That's good. Thank you for the head pats, Rennie. Thank you, thank you. I do need to do assignments. Grad ceremony's coming up. Ooh, good luck, Karen. Good luck. I hope it goes well. Your assignments for your before you can finish them before your grad ceremony in time. Which button? Ah, this one. I'll do this while I do low volume story time reading. And get close to the mic. Move this mic up a little. Are you all tucked in and comfy? Tucked in and comfy. I think I will lower this volume for Spotify. Let's see if I can't get something a little bit more relaxed. This is like jazz, but let's see what chill pop has. No. Let me see. Maybe this one. I might need to update the Spotify. Oh no. Oh, it's good. Really quiet now? Is it quiet now or no? Hold on, let me put the mic up high. Can you hear me better? I'm closer to the mic now. Is it still too low? Is it low? I might need to change my mic settings again. Let me look at my filters. Limiters, release. What did my friend say about the settings for this? I'm actually watching I have Ritz Casket stream on the side as well. I hear her talking to Zero. He's getting rizzed up by Ritz, or by Casket, and by Owlie. Hello, Sergio. Welcome back. I'm trying to get my mic a little louder. Oh. Yeah, 1 second. Papa. How's your night? I think my mic is probably really quiet right now. Let me just try to get it a little louder. I need to look at the settings that he sent me. 1 second. Okay, what did he say? Noise cancellation, compressor, limiter. Mr. Makeup gain will boost the noise floor like fans and hums, but by putting it after noise cancellation and boost volume. The limiter assures you cannot get past the value you set. It is great to have on this master bus too. Oh, I see. Alright, I'm trying to fix my mic settings so you guys can hear me lower volume ASMR. Let's see, filters. What's limiters? Threshold. Let's see, if I put the release higher, What will it do? Since these filters can boost volume, the limiter ensures you cannot get past that. Oh, I see. Let's see. What if I put the gain up a little more? Not too much. Let's see. This better? No, it's not. Me. That bad? No. Is that better? A little louder. Better. Uh, 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 Testing 1, 2, 3. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, up above the world so far, like a diamond in the sky. Okay, I think this is a good volume for it. I lowered a little just in case. I think that's good. Okay. And close this. I think I'll have the gain off whenever I'm streaming normally, and the gain on when I need to be a little louder, like whispering. I'm glad the volume's better now, though. Hope it's not too loud. Okay, are you guys ready for story time? Have you guys heard of this little story called The Little Prince? It's an Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I can't pronounce this name. Here you go. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Is that French? I'm probably butchering it. Yeah, sorry. It's called Alma Books. Let's read the dedication. The Little Prince. I remember watching a documentary talking about like the theories on the story of the Little Prince, because there's a lot of metaphors that can be learned from it, like a lot of life lessons being taught in the form of a storybook. So maybe after each chapter we can ponder the meaning of what each chapter was trying to tell us. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Thank you, Rennie. Okay, the dedication to Leon Worth. I hope children will forgive me if I dedicate this book to a grown-up. I have a serious excuse. This grown-up is the best friend I have in the world. I have another excuse. This grown-up understands everything, even books for children. I have a third excuse. This grown-up lives in France, where he is cold and hungry. He really needs consoling. If all these excuses aren't enough, we just get it. Sorry, I keep stuttering. If all these excuses aren't enough, I'm happy to dedicate this book to the child whom this grown-up used to be. Aww. Sweet. I might cry reading this. All grown-ups started out as children, but few of them remember it, so I correct my dedication to Leon Worth when he was a little boy. Aww. That's so sweet. Okay, here's the name of the person he was dedicating it to. Leon Worth. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing it because there's an accent over the E. That is so sweet. I think that might be the sweetest dedication intro I've ever read. Leon, I see. That's pronounced Leon. Apologies, Leon. I hope he read this and it gave him proper consoling to his inner child. I think that's gonna do some for us. They must have been besties, yeah. Because this guy wrote an entire book for his bestie who was going through a hard time. Oh, that's some dedication. I wanna do that just because I can. You know, it would feel really, I want someone to feel really nice and really loved. And a whole book dedicated to them. I bet Leon must have felt really giddy inside. At least I hope his inner child did. So excited. A children's book made for grown-ups. It's technically made for our inner child. I think we need something like that in these trying times. When life bogs us down, we need reminding. We need to console the inner child that we never could. Both deserve a book. Thank you, Luke. You're so sweet. OMG, Leon called Antonio. Called him Antoinette. I'm so sorry. Tonio. He called him Tonio. They were besties. So they had a nickname. Oh my god, just reading that dedication is gonna make me cry. I'm so okay. Start, shall we? I think maybe after each chapter we'll discuss what Antoine was trying to tell Leon. Mommy just ousted me. He did out you. Thank you for the daily 0. Thank you. Just in time. We're going to start chapter 1 and then discuss it after. Okay, let me pause. I'm gonna mute the stream I was watching so I can properly read it. Chapter 1. Once when I was 6 years old, I saw a marvelous picture in a book on rainforests called Real Life Stories. It depicted a boa constrictor swallowing a wild animal. Here is a replica of the picture. In the book, it said boa constrictors swallow their prey whole, without chewing. Afterwards, they cannot move, and sleep for 6 months digesting. That low-key kind of sounds like I'll eat and then I'll sleep for eternity. Let me grab my laptop to change the stream tag. Okie dokie. Wait, what's the stream tag? Did I not change it? Thought I changed it. Yeah, 6 months digesting. Wait, actually, it's still... No, it isn't. Thought I updated it, so I didn't. My bad. I think I edited it, the stream info, but I didn't press done. So I thought, okay, it's a goof. My bad. It's okay, everyone knew? Okay. I'm glad. Can you imagine digesting something for 6 months. Sleeping? That's insane. I thought a great deal about Aunt goings in the jungle and, in turn, with a crayon, managed to produce my first drawing. My number one. It was like this. Kinda wish should I show you guys the book? Maybe I should. Because makes sense if you can see the picture. But I don't know if I can do it legally. You guys know. Maybe I'll show it briefly on the screen so you can see what picture they're talking about, and then I'll take it off. I think that's a good idea. I want to respect the authors. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, just flash it. Let me do a window cap. Bedtime story. Okay. And the window. This one. Yeah. You guys see it? You guys saw it, right? The drawing. Let me edit the real quick. I think showing the one page is okay. Let me just crop it a little. So we can just see the book. This is the drawing he was talking about, the one down here. As I said, wait, what's on? Post it on Discord to be safe. Way too late. So smart, I commit too much piracy maybe. Well, yeah, I would expect as much because you do a lot of fan art stuff, right? And it's technically piracy because we're not really permitted, I'm pretty sure, to sell anime merch, but you know, people still do it. Yeah, why don't they eat something smaller? I showed my masterpiece to the grown-ups and asked them if my drawing frightened them. The boa constrictor. It's so funny. Okay, let me show you again. This. Look. That's the boa constrictor and the big food in a tummy. Cute. Let's continue reading. Imagine if snakes were just all herbivores. No? What would they eat? Actually, what would they eat if they were herbivores? Can't imagine. I remember this one clip of this lion. He was trying to eat like a cabbage, and then he yucked it up. He was like, oh, disgusting. Grass, maybe. Probably grass. Yeah. Are there any snakes that are herbivores? I feel like there should be. Those exist, surely. They answered, what's frightening about a hat? Oh, it does look like a hat. My drawing was not of a hat. It showed a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. It then drew the insides of the boa constrictor so that the grown-ups could understand. They're always looking for explanations. My drawing number 2 was like this. The elephant in the... Maybe I'll make it smaller so you can only see the picture that he's trying to show. I think that's good, so you can only look at the picture. Look at that. A little elephant in the boa constrictor. That'd be crazy if an boa constrictor could actually eat an entire elephant. I feel like it would take even more than 6 months to digest, no? That would be insane. Imagine it if snakes were all just herbivores. I already read that. They can't break down plant fiber. Sad. Oh, really? That makes sense. Personally, would hate to be a slither noodle. Yeah, it must be pretty bad. I remember clips of a snake called Tofu. Tofu really hates Markiplier for some reason. Okay, digressing, but Tofu always knots himself somehow. Like, his owner will find him in a literal knot. Like, his body is knotted. And she's like, how did you do this? Why? Unknot yourself, child. And they slowly, Tofu would dumb me. And Tofu just slowly unknotted themselves. No survival instinct. No, for real. Tofu had no survival instincts. The grown-ups advised me to set drawings of open or closed boa constrictors aside, and to concentrate instead on geography, history, mathematics, and grammar. So it was at the age of 6 that I abandoned a magnificent career as a painter. I had been discouraged by the failure of my drawing number 1 and my drawing number 2. Grown-ups never understand anything on their own, and it's tiring for children to be forever and ever explaining. Oh, he has a point. I've seen a lot of instances of that, of parents discouraging their kids from doing what they want in lieu of what the parents think is a proper career. Like, there should be some kind of happy medium, you know? Like, you can still pursue your passions while trying to find a way to live. Think. Like, you try to make it manageable. But it's true, adults are always asking for explanations. Having to choose another profession. I learned to fly planes. Wow, from painter to pilot, that's crazy. I flew a little all over the world, and it's true that geography served me well. At a glance, I could distinguish China from Arizona. That's very useful if you get lost in the night. Also, in the course of my life, I've had lots of encounters with lots of serious people. I have lived a great deal among grown-ups. I have seen them up close. It hasn't done much to improve my opinion. Wait, this book is actually kind of great. I'm only on the second page and it's so good. Savage, right? Amazing. I could never be like the little prince though. I'm so bad at geography. I would get lost so bad. It's a good thing he learned it though, geography. I feel like it'd be nice if we could choose what we wanted to learn. Like, of course we should learn the basics. Like math and reading, we always need that in everyday life. Like, it'd be nice if we could just choose, like in college and stuff, what we wanted to learn instead of them having to shove like prerequisites and general ed in our face. Be like, I'm not even gonna need this information later. College feels like a scam sometimes. Sorry, I keep digressing. It's just a lot. Reading this reminds me of a lot of things in my life. Whenever I met one who seemed faintly perspective, faintly, I subjected them to the experiment with my drawing number 1, which I've always kept. I wanted to know if they could really understand. But they always answered, "It's a hat." So I would tell them nothing about boa constrictors or rainforests or the stars. I put myself at their level. He called them dumb. No, I don't think he called him dumb. He just called them, like, lacking perspective. I think that kind of happens as you grow up. You lose your imagination for things when you get bogged down by life. I spoke to them about bridge, golf, politics, neckties, and the grown-up was very pleased to know such a reasonable man. Wait, I actually am falling in love with this book. It's so... Part 2. And so I lived alone with no one really to talk to until a breakdown in the Sahara Desert 6 years ago. Something had failed in my engine. As I had neither passengers nor a mechanic, I was getting ready to attempt all on my own some difficult repairs. It was a matter of life or death. I had scarcely enough drinking water to last 8 days. Oh, damn. Yeah, I feel like it's the essence of adults being constrained by society. Yeah, it's exactly that. I think this little story about showing the adults, like the drawing of the elephant and the constrictor, is just a really good example of it. And it was so simple too, so well done. I think, you guys have watched Cosmic Princess Kaguya, right? It was basically the same message that they were teaching us by the end of the movie. How life just bogs you down and you lose sight of perspective of things that, like, first of all, your imagination. Second of all, you lose sight of what's important to you, what's really important. Then you go after the things you think are important to you, when it's just something society shoved onto you. Make it seem like something you should do. That was the crux of the problem that the protagonist of Cosmic Princess Kaguya faced. It's a really nice story. I really enjoyed that movie. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you should totally watch it. Let's drink some water. A reminder for you all to hydrate, okay? You better be drinking that aqua. Yeah, we watched Princess Kaguya for anime, but I'm unsure if everyone here has seen it. Yeah, who missed out? Who? I want names. Kidding. So far, I'm finding this super relatable. Crackhead hours, to be fair. Yeah, it was crackhead hours. I don't expect anyone to stay up as late as we did. Because we had just finished anime night, and then we started watching Cosmic Princess Kaguya. Rennie was like, let's go for like 10 minutes of this movie. And then it didn't end up being 10. it ended up being the whole movie. Hello, CG Legend 12. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Emma, we're in the middle of reading and discussing The Little Prince. So far, I'm finding it an enjoyable read. Oh, it's kind of an ASMR. It's like a bedtime story reading. So our kids can listen to me reading, and they can fall asleep to it. But so far, I'm enjoying this read. It's bringing up a lot of experiences, life experiences. Sorry, game. Clearing my throat. Yeah. I guess, should I introduce myself whenever there's new people? I don't think I've had a elevator pitch for it. I'm too nervous to introduce. Hello, I am Yui Nerine. I am a cosmic snow fox demon girl who is shirking her duties. Stream online, have fun, and find her zest for life. Yeah. I hope you enjoy your stay and enjoy our little ASMR bedtime reading of The Little Prince. Recap summary. So far, The Little Prince has explained to us. Have you read it before, The Little Prince? If you have, maybe I don't need to do a recap, because we haven't read that far yet, to be honest. Let me know. I don't want anyone to feel a little lost when they just jump in. Make sure to get cozy, okay? You don't need to recap. I haven't read it, but I will understand. Okie dokie. Continue then. We're starting on chapter 2. The Little Prince, I think he had a little breakdown of his plane and he ended up in the Sahara Desert. And he's trying to do some repairs for the first time. He said he scarcely had enough to drink for the last 8 days. Insane. First night, I went to sleep on the sand 1,000 miles from any human dwelling. I was much more alone than a person shipwrecked on a raft in the middle of the ocean. So you can imagine my surprise when at sunrise, a strange little voice woke me. It said, "Please draw me a sheep." Huh? Draw me a sheep. I leapt to my feet, as if struck by lightning. I rubbed my eyes thoroughly. I had a good look, and I saw an altogether extraordinary little fellow who was watching me with a solemn expression. Here is the best portrait that I was able to make of him later on. But of course, my drawing is much less beautiful than the model. It's not my fault. Grown-ups had discouraged me from my artistic career when I was 6, and I hadn't learned to draw anything other than open or closed boa constrictors. See, this is why it's good to encourage these passions in young ones. You never know where it could lead them. Don't be listening to adults, those naysayers. So I was watching this apparition with wide, astonished eyes. Don't forget that I was 1,000 miles from any human dwelling, yet my little fellow looked neither lost nor dying of weariness, Dying of hunger, dying of thirst, or dying of fear? He seemed nothing like a child lost in the middle of the desert, 1,000 miles from any human dwelling. When at last I managed to speak, I asked him, "But what are you doing out here?" And he said again, very softly, in all seriousness, "Please, draw me a sheep." When a mystery is too overwhelming, you dare not disobey. As absurd as it seemed to me, 1,000 miles from any human dwelling, and in mortal danger, I reached into my pocket for a piece of paper and a pen. Then I remembered that I had studied mostly geography, history, mathematics, and grammar, said to the little fellow, in something of a bad mood, that I didn't know how to draw. He replied, "It doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep." As I had never drawn a sheep, I redid it. I redid for his benefit. One of the only 2 drawings I was capable of, that of the closed boa constrictor, and I was astounded to hear the little man reply, "No, no, no. I don't want an elephant inside a boa constrictor. Oh, what's wrong? The net is gone? Oh no. I don't know what to do about that. I'm sorry. I have my connection connected to the Ethernet, so the connection is stable on my end. You need to restart your router? I had to do that earlier. Oh no, your net is gone. Rest in peace, legend. Shall we wait for you? Oh no. I'll give you a minute or 2 to restart your router. You can wait a little. Earlier, my brother Nate, was having Wi-Fi issues, but I was connected to the router and through the Ethernet, and it was working fine for me. But for some reason, it wasn't working for brother Nate. Maybe I was hawking the internet. Using my phone data, I only have 100 megabytes left in it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, when you end up using most of your data, everything slows down. Nah, it won't come back now. The electricity is gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hope it comes back on. What happened to the electricity? Did you have a blackout? Oh no. I hope it comes back soon, and it's not a long blackout. The area had a lot of that before they were doing maintenance. It frequents during summer. Yeah, that happens a lot here too. During summer, there's a lot of blackouts. Maybe the systems overheat. I pray it comes back on for you soon, legend. I'll keep reading, okay? Just hop in whenever you can. Let me know if you need some recap of parts that you didn't remember hearing because the connection cut off. Oh shit, the government told it will take 2 hours. No, not 2 hours. I'm sorry, legend. 2 hours suck. Well, in the meantime, I hope you can find something to do. Hopefully your phone lasts 2 hours, so maybe you can hear. It's 43 degrees. Is it cold? 43 degrees. Is it Fahrenheit or Celsius? Because I live in the States and we use Fahrenheit. Yeah. It really depends if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. 43, is that hot? Celsius. Stay cool. That is roasting. Oh no. Yeah, I think the States is the only place that uses Fahrenheit. Everywhere else uses Celsius. Oh my god, 109? That's scorching. You're being baked alive in an oven. Oh no. Do you have anywhere you can go to cool down? Maybe a cafe that has AC and Wi-Fi? I think that might be the best solution, unless it's too sweltering outside to even move. It's actually still morning, not even afternoon, and it's that hot? Oh my god. Someone give this lad a head pat. I'm gonna send you some head pats in the chat. Head pat. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Legend. Let me give you some head pats. Here you go. I give you our cool night air. If only I could transfer our cool night air to you, Legend. It's 8 p.m. where we are. It's a bit cool. It was a little warm earlier, but lucky. I'll give you a head pat too, Luke. My goodness. You silly goose. Here you go. Head pat. Head pat. No jealousy here. Wait, my power bank worked. I connected it to the router. It works. Yay! Yay! So glad. I'm so glad it worked. Yay! That means you can hear the rest of the stream, yeah. The bedtime story. And you don't have to go find a cafe outside for AC. I hope your AC is on, or that you have AC in your house. I think the most of the power issues is that everyone is using the AC at the same time. So maybe it causes outages because of that. Adapted to that weather? That's crazy. I don't think I could ever survive that. I think it's reached, I don't know if where I live has reached 109 before, but I don't think I could survive that. I lose any ounce of productivity if it ever gets that hot. Drink very hot tea in this weather. You madman. You madman. I think we only got to 100, yeah. It's hot here, but not that hot. You're crazy. So many of my star kids here are a little bit unhinged. Did you know one of us here ate rat poison because they thought it was a jelly bean? It's not, your story is not as crazy as that, but for you to drink hot tea in hot weather is insane. I don't even touch cold water, really? Dude, if it ever gets to 100, we should just cafe art day. Yeah, we should. We should go to a cafe that has AC and just do art there. My house does not have AC. Bad for health, cold water is. Oh, really? During hot? Don't you want to hydrate in hot weather? Is it really bad to drink cold water in hot weather? I do that too much. Maybe it's because of the drastic temperature change that you subject your body to? Is that what makes it unhealthy? Adapted to hot weather, but I am weak as a stick to cold weather. Oh no. Okay, at least with cold weather you can just bundle up. Just extra layers. With heat you can't ever escape it. We have AC, but sometimes my mom is stingy. She'd rather I go to the mall. Honestly, I think it's probably better with your mother. Would you rather stay in the house full of heat and a mother that doesn't mind her own damn business? Mall is better any day. But at least I have mangoes. I'm glad you have mangoes. I love mangoes. You can't go wrong with mangoes. I think the only people who could ever hate mangoes are people who are allergic to it. It's so sad to be allergic to fruit. Fruit is so good. 2 sacks full of... You have sacks? Sacks of mango. Give me some. I want mango. Give me the sacks. OMG Koki bark competition with neighbor dog. Silly Koki boy. I could go for a mango smoothie right now. Sounds so... It's kind of funny because I drink... In cold weather, I still eat ice cream. I guess you drinking hot tea in hot weather isn't as far-fetched as I thought it was, because I just really like the cold. Yeah, like 120-ish. You have 120 mangoes? Why do you have that many mangoes, Legend? What the heck? Wait, yeah, story time. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Get back to me on that 120 mango. You have a tree? Okay, sorry. Alright, let me show you the picture that the little prince drew of the little guy he encountered in the savannah desert. Oops. Yeah, this is the image that he drew of the little guy he met in the desert. There you go. Here is the best portrait that I was able to make of him later on. It's so cute. You eat 8 mangoes every day? Oh, your uncle owns a farm. That makes sense. Nice hair. Are you talking about me or the drawing? In any case, thank you. I spent a long time editing this. Okay, let me read the chapter. No, I don't want an elephant inside a boa constrictor. Well, a boa constrictor is dangerous and an elephant is very bulky. My home's very small. I need a sheep. Draw me a sheep. Demanding little thing, isn't he? So I drew. He looked carefully, then said, No, this one's already very ill. Do another. Damn, everyone's a critic. I drew. My friend smiled kindly, indulgently. See for yourself. That's not a sheep. That's a ram. It's got horns. So I redid my drawing again, but it was rejected, like the previous ones. This one's too old. I want a sheep that will live a long time. Finally, my patience at an end, I was in a hurry to start dismantling my engine. I scribbled this drawing and I exclaimed, That's the crate. The sheep you want is inside. But I was very surprised to see my young critic's face light up. That's exactly how I wanted it. You think the sheep needs a lot of grass? Why? Because my place is very small. So cute. Okay, let me show you the drawings that he did for it. wait, let me... Okay, I don't want to show the whole page, so maybe I'll do a cropping. Oops. I'll crop it a little so that, oops, so that you can still see the picture. But you won't see the whole page. I don't want to get copyrighted. Oh, I don't think you can see it. Maybe I'll scroll up. Yeah, this is the first drawing that he did of the little sheep. And then this is the second one. Wait, no, that's not the first. This is the first. This is the second one. That looks like a ram. And then this one looks like... This one is the one. And then this is the box he drew that he said that the sheep was in. Oh man, I'm getting too sleepy, so I think this is gonna be my last message for the night. Take care, girls. Gonna lurk. Okay, thank you for the lurk, Luke. I hope the story time helped you some, even though we were mostly chatting. Good night, Luke. Sweet dreams. Nighty night. I'm sure it'll be enough. I've given you a very small sheep. He bent his head over the drawing. Not that small. Look, it's fallen asleep. And so it was that I made the acquaintance of the little prince. Oh, so the pilot wasn't the little prince. The little prince is the person that he met, the little one that asked for the drawing. I thought the little prince was the pilot, but he wasn't. Yeah, good night. The voice is definitely working. I'm glad it's lulling you to sleep. Story time is working. Sweet dreams, Blue. Nighty night. I hope you dream of sheep like the ones the pilot drew. I guess the picture I showed you guys earlier was the little prince. It took me a long time to understand where he came from. The little prince who asked me lots of questions seemed never to hear my own. Little by little, things he said at random revealed everything to me. When, for instance, he saw my plane for the first time, I won't attempt my plane. It's far too complex at drawing. He asked me, "What's that thing?" It's not a thing, it flies. It's a plane. It's my plane. And I was proud to tell him that I flew. Then he cried out, "Really? You fell from the sky?" "Yes," I said modestly. "Ah, that's funny." And the little prince gave a very pretty laugh that irritated me profoundly. I want my misfortunes to be taken seriously. Then he added, "So you also come from the sky. Which planet are you from?" I saw at once a glimmer of light in the mystery of his presence and asked bluntly, "Why do you come from another planet?" Wait, there's a comma there. "Why? You come from another planet?" But he didn't answer. He nodded his head gently while considering my plane. It's true that you can't have come from afar. It's true that you can't come... Sorry, I can't read. It's true that you can't have come from far on that. Damn, criticizing the plane. And he sank into a daydream that lasted a long time. Finally, taking my sheep out of his pocket, he buried himself in contemplation of his treasure. You can imagine how intrigued I was by this partial revelation about these other planets. I tried to find out more. Where do you come from, little man? Where is home for you? Where do you want me to take my sheep? Wait, yeah, I read that right. Where do you want to take my sheep? He answered after a thoughtful silence. The good thing about the crate you've given me is that it can be its house at night. Oh, creative. Of course, and if you're good, I'll also give you a rope to tie it up with during the day and a post. The suggestion appeared to shock the little prince. Tie it up? What a strange idea! If you don't tie it up, it will wander off and get lost. Again, my friend laughed out loud. Where do you expect it to go? Anywhere, straight ahead. Then the little prince replied gravely. Oh, this was a short, I see. Let me go see if I can find some more of the Little Prince to read. I see, this was like public domain. That makes a lot of sense. It's such a cute read so far, isn't it? Ah, so lovely. I want to see what he was gonna say next. The Little Prince. Yeah, it's very cute. Oh, the America edition's cover. There's more background of him. So cool. Do you guys want to hear the background of the author? I'm gonna read it. Saint-Exupéry. Antoine de... An adventurous pilot and a lyrical poet, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry conveyed in his books the solitude and mystic grandeur of the early days of flight. He described dangerous adventures in the sky and also wrote the whimsical children's fable, The Little Prince. Antoine Marie Roger de Saint-Exupéry was born on June 29th, 1900, not 1990, that would make him a little younger, in Lyon, France. In the 1920s, he helped establish airmail routes overseas. Oh, during World War II, he flew as a military reconnaissance pilot. After the Germans occupied France in 1940, he escaped to the United States. He rejoined the Air Force in North Africa in 1943, during what was have been his final reconnaissance mission over the Mediterranean Sea. He died when his plane was shot down on July 31st, 1944. Oh no. Saint-Exupéry's first book, Southern Mail, was about the life and death of an airmail pilot. It was published in France in 1929. Other books include Night Flight 1931, about the first airline pilots, and Wind, Sand, and Stars in 1939, in which he describes his feelings during flights over the desert. The Little Prince 1943, which in a way is really a children's book for grown-ups, was written during Saint-Exupéry's stay in the United States. Oh! A gentle and thoughtful book. It tells the story of a boy who lives alone on a tiny planet. A final volume of reflections, which provides an insight into the author's views on the meaning of life, The Wisdom of the Sands, 1948. This book was published after the pilot's death. From Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia. That's so cool! So he based most of this on his own life. It's just a volume of reflections. Oh my goodness. I love this book so much already. Maybe we can make this a weekly thing. Nighttime reading with The Little Prince on Thursday. I think it'd be really cute. Oh, the colors are a little different in the American version. Why did they change it? Okay. Maybe I'll actually buy this book sometime. This is a very good read. Let me try to find where we were. Ah, yes. Chapter 3. No, yeah. Where are we? We're in chapter 4. Okay. The narrator speculates as to which asteroid from which the little prince came. I had thus learned a second fact of great importance. This was that the planet the little prince came from was scarcely any larger than a house. Oh, wow. But that did not really surprise me much. I knew very well that in addition to the great planets such as the Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, to which we have given names, there are also hundreds of others, some of which are so small that one has a hard time seeing them through the telescope. When an astronomer discovers one of these, he does not give it a name, but only a number. You might call it, for example, asteroid 325. I have serious reason to believe that the planet from which the little prince came is the asteroid known as B612. The asteroid has only been seen through the telescope, but that was by a Turkish astronomer in 1909. It kind of reminds me of Pluto. On making his discovery, the astronomer had presented it to the International Astronomical Congress in a great demonstration, but he was in Turkish costume, and so nobody would believe what he said. Grown-ups are like that. Why did they not believe him even though he was in a Turkish? I don't get it. Fortunately, however, for the reputation of asteroid B612, a Turkish dictator made a law that his subjects, under pain of death, could change to European costume. Okay, so in 1920, the astronomer gave his demonstration all over again, dressed with impressive style and elegance, and this time everybody accepted his report. Oh my god. I feel like that's how it is in modern society as well. You're not taken seriously unless you look or act a certain way. Like you could give the same speech, and if you're not seen in a good light when you give it, they won't give your explanation or your story any kind of credibility, even if that story or like the theory is good and accurate. So messed up. If I have told you these details about the asteroid and made a note of its number for you, it is on account of the grown-ups and their ways. When you tell them that you have made a new friend, they never ask you any questions about essential matters. They never say to you, What does his voice sound like? What games does he love best? Does he collect butterflies? Instead, they demand, how old is he? How many brothers has he? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father make? Only from these figures do they think they have learned anything about him. That's truly the world of adults right there. They care a lot about things that don't really matter in the long run. For sure, so, I don't know. Money matters in the long run in the terms of survivability, but they indeed care about material things. Yeah, that's all material things and not about the things that matter. Like asking about what he likes. What games does he like? Does he collect butterflies? What does he sound like? What kind of person is he? I want to try to do my best to not be that material about my friendships. It's a tale to tell. If you were to say to grown-ups, I saw a beautiful house made of rosy brick with geraniums in the windows and doves on the roof, they would not be able to get any idea of that house at all. You would have to say to them, I saw a house that cost $20,000. Then they would exclaim, what a pretty house that is. Just so, you might say to them, the proof that the little prince existed is that he was charming, that he laughed, and that he was looking for a sheep. If anybody wants a sheep, that is a proof that he exists. And what good would it do to tell them that? They would shrug their shoulders and treat you like a child. But if you said to them, the planet he came from is asteroid B612, then they would be convinced and leave you in peace from your questions. They are like that. One must not hold it against them. Children should always show great forbearance toward grown-up people. This pilot is so savage. For certainly, for us who understand life, figures are a matter of indifference. I should have liked to begin this story in the fashion of the fairy tales. I should have liked to say, once upon a time, there was a little prince who lived on a planet that was scarcely any bigger than himself, and who had need of a sheep. To those who understand life, that would have given a much greater air of truth to my story, for I do not want anyone to read my book carelessly. I have suffered too much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have already passed since my friend went away from me with his sheep. Aww. If I try to describe him here, it is to make sure that I shall not forget him. To forget a friend is sad. Not everyone has had a friend, and if I forget him, I may become like the grown-ups who are no longer interested in anything but figures. So deep. Yeah, let's try to read this story carefully. By the way, how is my voice in comparison to the music? It's not too loud. Or is the music too loud, or did I lower it? Is it low enough to where you can hear the story? It is for that purpose again that I have bought a box of paints and some pencils. It is hard to take up drawing again at my age, when I have never made any pictures except those of the boa constrictor and the outside from the outside and the boa constrictor from the inside. Since I was 6, I shall certainly try to make my portraits as true to life as possible, but I am not at all sure of success. That's okay. Gotta start somewhere. You hear me just fine? Okay, that's good. Let me drink some water. Boy, oh boy, reading really makes you thirsty. Oh. Dang, I really drank all that water. I shall certainly try to make my portraits as true to life as possible, but I am not at all sure of success. One drawing goes along all right, and another has no resemblance to its subject. I make some errors too. In the little prince's height, in one place he's too small, and in another too short. And I feel some doubts about the color of his costume, so I fumbled along as best I can. Good, now bad, and I hope generally fair to middling. In certain more details, I shall make mistakes also. But that is something that will not be my fault. Yeah, you gotta be more forgiving of yourself. Because if you're just starting out something, of course it's not gonna look that great. As the thing in art goes, make it exist first and make it better later. My friend never explained anything to me. He thought perhaps that I was like himself. But alas, I do not know how to see sheep through the walls of the boxes. Perhaps I am a little like the grown-ups. I have had to grow old. Yeah. Chapter 5. What do we think of the story so far? I'm actually quite liking it. A lot about life, about adults. How you truly lose a lot when you grow up. I like to think that it would be a good idea for all of us to keep a little bit of our inner child inside our hearts. It is a bit hard to keep up because I am a visual reader. Oh no! You think it's okay if I show maybe I'll share it in the Discord so you can follow along while I read it. Give me 1 second. Let me go to our Discord. Yeah, sound good? Okay. Let's see. Let us go to should we go to Star Stage or should we go to Art Studio? Maybe Art Studio. No Star Stage since we're reading. Yeah. Let us start a stage. A little Prince reading. There you go. Alright, let me share my screen. This one. There you go. Good? Hope that's good. Yay! You can follow along now. Sorry about that. I too am more of a visual person, so if you guys really need it, maybe I can have like a little captions here. I think I remember another VTuber had little captions that was being read as she spoke. That would be good to have for one of these story times, I think. I'll look it up later, and then for the next story time will be even better. You can hear what I'm saying. I'm like that too. I need captions when I watch or read something, when I watch something or I need to read something. Go back to the story now, shall we? Chapter 5. We are warned as to the dangers of the baobabs. Ooh. As each day passed, I would learn, in our talk, something about the little prince's planet, his departure from it, his journey. The information would come very slowly, as it might chance to fall from his thoughts. It was in this way that I heard, on the third day, about the catastrophe of the baobabs. This time, once more, I had the sheep to thank for it. For the little prince asked me abruptly, as if seized by grave doubt, it is true, isn't it, that sheep eat little bushes? Yes, that is true. Ah, I'm glad. I did not understand why it was so important that the sheep should eat little bushes, but the little prince added, then it follows that they eat baobabs? What are baobabs? I pointed out to the little prince that baobabs were not little bushes, but on the contrary, trees as big as castles, and that even if he took a whole herd of elephants away with him, the herd would not eat up one single baobab. Oh wow. I kind of want to look it up. Baobabs. Let me look at baobabs. Oh, they are big trees. Baobabs are among the longest lived of vascular plants and have large flowers that are reproductive for a maximum of 5 or 15 hours. Oh wow. 15 hours reproductive. The flowers open around dusk with sufficiently rapid movement and is detectable by the naked eye. That's so cool. Yeah, they look funny. Let me look at images. Baobabs. They do look funny. What the heck? Okay. The little prince really thought that the sheep can eat this gigantic tree. Awkward looking tree. Okay, where was I? Oh wait, this was the other one. This one. I pointed out to the little... Oh wait, did I read this already? Yeah. The idea of the herd of elephants made the little prince laugh. We would have to put them on top of the other, he said, but he made a wise comment. Before they grow so big, the baobabs start out by being little. That is strictly correct, I said. But why do you want the sheep to eat the little baobabs? He answered me at once, oh, come, as if he were speaking of something that was self-evident. No, I want to know too, little prince, why you want them to eat the little baobabs. and I was obliged to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any assistance. Indeed, as I learned, there were on the planet where the little prince lived, as on all planets, good plants and bad plants. In consequence, there were good seeds from the good plants and bad seeds from bad plants. But seeds were invisible. They sleep deep in the heart of the earth's darkness until someone among them is seized with the desire to awaken. Then this little seed will stretch itself and begin, timidly at first, to push a charming little sprig inoffensively upward toward the sun. It is only a sprout of radish or the sprig of a rose bush. One would let it grow wherever it might wish. But when it is a bad plant, one might destroy it as soon as possible, the very first instant that one recognizes it. That's true. I guess we're all everyone looks for beauty in things. And so those are more permitted to stay than things that are not as pleasant. I want to read this again. Now there are some terrible seeds on the planet that was the home of the little prince. And these were the seeds of the baobab. Oh, I see. The soil of that planet was infested with them. A baobab is something you will never ever be able to get rid of if you attend to it too late. It spreads over the entire planet. It bores clear through it with its roots. And if the planet is too small and the baobabs are too many, they split it in pieces. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you gotta have the elephants eat those baby baobabs. That's a good point. It is a question of discipline, the little prince said to me later on. When you finish your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to attend to the toilet of your planet, eh? Just so, with the greatest care. Wise words, little prince. You must see to it that you pull up regularly all the baobabs. At the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the rose bushes, which they resemble so closely in their earliest youth. It is very tedious work, the little prince added, but very easy. And one day he said to me, some people treating the planet as their toilet. Yeah, exactly. The way this was phrased is exactly the metaphor for that as well. Like, some people just don't clean up after themselves and they don't look after the planet at all. Like, you can see people just littering and not even caring about the space they're occupying or the other people or creatures that have to live in it with them. It's truly unfortunate. Let us strive not to be like that, yeah. And one day he said to me, you ought to make a beautiful drawing so that the children where you live can see exactly how all this is. That would be very useful to them if they were to travel someday. Sometimes, he added, there is no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day. But when it is a matter of baobabs, that always means a catastrophe. I knew a planet that was inhabited by a lazy man who neglected the 3 little bushes. Oh no. So So as the little prince described it to me, I have made a drawing of that planet. I do not much like to take the tone of a moralist, but the danger of the baobabs is so little understood that such considerable risk would be run by anyone who might get lost on an asteroid. That for once I am breaking through my reserve. Children, I say plainly, watch out for the baobabs. My friends like myself have been skirting this danger for a long time without ever knowing it, and so it is for them that I have worked so hard over this drawing. The lesson which I pass on by this means is worth all the trouble it has cost me. Perhaps you will ask me, why are there no other drawing in this book as magnificent and impressive as this drawing of the baobabs? The reply is simple. I have tried, but the others have not been successful. When I made the drawing of the baobabs, I was carried beyond myself, the inspiring force of urgent necessity. That is true. I think when a task is that important and that grave, like a matter of life and death survival, you want to make sure you do it as thoroughly as possible. Although some people don't have that mindset. Okay, let's not compare too much now. Like, comparing never leads anywhere good. Better to focus on yourself, but be mindful of how things are. The little prince and the narrator talk about sunsets. Oh, little prince, bit by bit I came to understand the secrets of your sad little life. Don't call it sad little life. For a long time you have found your only entertainment in the quiet pleasure of looking at the sunset. I learned that new detail on the morning of the 4th day when you said to me, I am very fond of sunsets. Oh sorry, my notifications, let me silence them so they don't interrupt story time. Okay. You purple little air stuck in my... Ugh. I'm very fond of sunsets. Come, let us look at a sunset now. But we must wait, I said. Wait? For what? For the sunset, we must wait until it is time. At first you seemed to be very... And then you laughed to yourself. You said to me, I am always thinking that I am at home. Just so everybody knows that when it is noon in the United States, the sun is setting over France. Oh. That's cool to know. When it is noon in the United States, the sun is setting over. So is it setting over France right now? I guess it's not noon anymore, is it? Afternoon, nighttime. They're probably well into their day up by now. If you could fly to France in 1 minute, you could go straight into the sunset, right from noon. Unfortunately, France is too far away for that, but on your tiny planet, my little prince, all you need to do is move your chair a few steps. You can see the day and the twilight falling whenever you like. That is true on a small planet. One day, you said to me, I saw the sunset 44 times. And a little later, you added, you know, one loves the sunset when one is so sad. Were you so sad then? I asked on the day of the 44 sunsets. The little prince made no reply. That's true. Why do we like sunsets when we're sad? You guys have a theory on why we like sunsets when we're sad? Maybe it brings you like peace of mind, a bit calming. That like the next day will come and that your struggles of today are now yesterday. I wonder, if you have any theories, feel free to share. I think that's my theory. I like starry skies when I'm sad. Me too. I like to look at the twinkling stars when I'm sad. Everyone's a little different, I think. It makes problems seem small compared to the universe. That's true. Somewhere far, far away, you'd see from where you are. The stars shining so bright, and then from where that star is, it might actually be a planet even. Or maybe it's a dead star. You never know. It'd still be shining even when it's not alive. Did you know that? As looking at the vastness of space, the stars does make everything seem small, doesn't it? That's what I like about stars in the galaxy. I am rambling, but I totally agree. We should go stargazing sometime, Rennie. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've been wanting to. On days when things feel bogged down and you just want not even to talk or anything, you just want a place to decompress. We should find somewhere that has a bunch of stars in the sky that can show through all that pollution. Get out my picnic blanket and some pillows and blankets and just look at the stars for a bit to decompress. Maybe we can bring a telescope. We can find the constellations. Chapter 7. The narrator learns about the secret of the little prince's life. Yeah, telescope. Maybe later though. Telescopes are expensive. Maybe we can find a really, really small one. I'm sure they have a really small one. On the 5th day again, as always, it was thanks to the sheep. The secret of the little prince's life was revealed to me. Sorry, let me fix my mic and get it closer to me. Abruptly, without anything to lead up to it. Sorry, let me fix it a little more. Abruptly, without anything to lead up to it, and as if the question had been born of long, silent meditation on his problem, he demanded, "A sheep, if it eats little bushes, does it eat flowers too?" "A sheep," I answered, "eats anything it finds in its reach." Is true. Even flowers that have thorns? Yes, even flowers that have thorns. Can they eat the thorns without getting hurt? Their tongues. Are their tongues that tough? I need to look this up later. I want to know. Do they actually eat roses with thorns and all without getting hurt? Because I know a tortoise can eat cactus with thorns in them. They think it a delicacy. Wait, can they eat it with thorns in them? Don't remember. Okay. Then the thorns, what use are they? I did not know. At that moment, I was very busy trying to unscrew a bolt that got stuck in my engine. I was very much worried, for if it was becoming clear to me that the breakdown of my plane was extremely serious. Oh no. And I had so little drinking water left that I had to fear the worst. The thorns, what use are they? Okay, I think the little prince being there with the pilot is honestly kind of helping him, because that whole time without company, he would have been super stressed about his plane, right? And I think the little prince being there might be helping him alleviate some of that stress by having someone to talk to. There's a lot of comfort in not being alone. Let's see. The thorns, what use are they? The little prince never let go of a question once he had asked it. As for me, I was upset over that bolt, and I answered with the first thing that came into my head. The thorns are of no use at all. Flowers have thorns just for spite. That's not true. Oh, there was a moment of complete silence. Then the little prince flashed back at me with a kind of resentfulness. I don't believe you. Flowers are weak creatures. They are I can't read that. What is that? They reassure themselves as best. I think that's naive. They are naive. They reassure themselves as best they can. They believe that their thorns are terrible weapons. I did not answer. At that instant, I was saying to myself, if this bolt still won't turn, I am going to knock it out with a hammer. Again, the little prince disturbed my thoughts. And you actually believe that the flowers... Oh no, I cried. Oh no, 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 I don't believe anything. I answered you with the first thing that came into my head. Don't you see? I am very busy with matters of consequence. He stared at me, thunderstruck. Matters of consequence. He looked at me there with my hammer in hand, my fingers black with engine grease, bending down over an object that seemed to him extremely ugly. You talk just like the grown-ups. That made me a little ashamed, but he went on relentlessly. You mix everything up together, you confuse everything. He was really very angry. He tossed his golden curls in the breeze. I know a planet where there is a certain red-faced gentleman. He has never smelled a flower. He has never looked at a star. He has never loved anyone. He has never done anything in his life but add up figures. And all day, says over and over, just like you, I am busy with matters of consequence. And that makes him swell up with pride. But he is not a man, he is a mushroom. A mushroom. A what? A mushroom. The little prince was now white with rage. The flowers have been growing thorns for millions of years. For millions of years, the sheep have been eating them just the same. And it is not a matter of consequence to try to understand why the flowers go to so much trouble to grow thorns, which are never of any use to them. In this warfare between the sheep and the flowers, is the warfare between the sheep and the flowers not important? Is this not of more consequence than a fat red-faced gentleman's sums? And if I know, I myself, one flower, which is unique in the world, grows nowhere but on my planet. But which one little sheep can destroy in a single bite from some morning? Sorry. Let me read that over. If I know I myself one flower which is unique in the world, which grows nowhere but on my planet, which one little sheep can destroy in a single bite some morning, not even noticing what he is doing. Oh, you think that is not important? What is his problem with mushrooms hoarding figures? I think he's more getting on about the adult finding things that are not really that important, like emphasizing it, but him comparing this guy to a mushroom who values his son more than anything is funny. I wonder if there's a drawing of this mushroom man. Maybe there is, but much later. Maybe the village visits them later. The little prince... Wait, no, I read that. His face turned from white to red as he continued. If someone loves a flower, of which just one single blossom grows in all the millions and millions of stars, it is enough to make him happy just to look at the stars. He can say to himself, somewhere my flower is there. But if the sheep eats the flower, in one moment all the stars will be darkened, and you think that is not important. He could not say anything more. His words were choked by sobbing. Wait, I'm confused. What does he mean? Let me read that again. If someone loves a flower, of which just one single blossom grows, okay, in all the millions and millions of stars. Okay, this one flower, if you love this one flower, and all that only blooms a single bloom in all the universe, it is enough to make him happy just to look at the stars. Wait, the stars. He can say to himself, somewhere my flower is there. Oh, I see. So, just knowing that there is a flower out there that he will love amongst the universe, just looking at the stars will make him happy. But if the sheep eats the flower, in one moment all his stars will be darkened. And you think that is not important. Oh. See, this is what the author meant by reading it closely. I had to read that again to make sure I was reading it, understanding it properly. That's true. I think if you compare a flower that you'll love one day in the future to your significant other, because I don't have a partner right now, but the thought of them being out there somewhere for me would fill me with great happiness as well. Like knowing they're out there, knowing it's someone I will love. Just that assurance make me so happy that they're out there somewhere in the universe. But then, if someone were to take them away, I would be very sad even if I had never met them. Because I think by eating that flower, they've taken away my ability to love that person. I interpret it as loving someone, knowing they exist somewhere, even if not by your side. Yeah, loving someone, knowing they exist. Maybe it's kind of like that in, what is it called? Long distance relationship. kind of like that. You've met them and you know they're out there, and that alone brings you comfort and love. For them to not exist anymore is like the end of the world. Yeah. Because you loved them, even if they weren't by your side. I feel like that would be very sad if they disappeared one day. The night had fallen. I had let my tools drop from my hands. Of what moment now was my hammer, my bolt, or thirst, or death? On one star, on one planet, my planet, the Earth, there was a little prince to be comforted. I took him in my arms and I rocked him. I said to him, "The flower that you love is not in danger. I will draw you a muzzle for your sheep. I will draw you a railing to put around your flower. I did not know what to say to him. I felt awkward and blundering. I did not know how I could reach him, where I could overtake him and go on hand in hand with him once more. It is such a secret place, the land of tears." Yeah, it is very hard to comfort someone who's just so upset over the potential loss of a loved one. What can you say or do? But reassure them that they're not gone. Alright, I think it's almost dinner time. Shall we do one more chapter? Chapter 8. Let's make it even. An even number. And we'll end it off there. Probably won't do a raid because we already did one earlier. Probably just end it off as at chapter 8. Yeah. The rose arrives at the little prince's planet. Ooh, his rose. I soon learned to know this flower better. On the little prince's planet, the flowers had always been very simple. They had only one ring of petals. They took up no room at all. They were a trouble to nobody. One morning they would appear in the grass, and by night they would have faded peacefully away. But one day, from a seed blown from no one knew where, a new flower had come up, and the little prince had watched very closely over this small sprout, which was not like any other sprout on his planet. It might, you see, have been a new kind of baobab. My bad. I could use a kebab right now. Dinner time thoughts. The shrub soon stopped growing and began to get ready to produce a flower. The little prince, who was present at the first appearance of a huge bud, felt at once that some sort of miraculous apparition might emerge from it. But the flower was not satisfied to complete the preparations for her beauty in the shelter of her green chamber. She chose her colors with the greatest care. She adjusted her petals one by one. She did not wish to go out into the world all rumpled like the field of poppies. It was only in the full radiance of her beauty that she wished to appear. Oh yes, she was a coquettish creature, and her mysterious adornment lasted for days and days. What is coquettish? Vocab time. Coquettish. Coquettish means it describes someone who behaves in a playful, teasing, or flirtatious way to attract attention. Oh, okay, so she's a flirty flower. People were overusing coquette last year. Really? In what context, coquette? Where was this that you heard them overusing it? I must have lived under a rock. Like fashion. Oh, fashion vibes. I see. Did they know it meant flirty? They were acting flirty. Coquettish. What a word. One morning, exactly at sunrise, she suddenly showed herself. Like they wear pink and ribbons in their hair or clothes. Oh, I see. I didn't know coquettish was a vibe. Paired with some flirty clothes. Oh, I need to look this up later. Wait, let me look this up now that we're talking about it. Coquettish. Coquettish fashion. Oh, that is very cute. The style is an ultra-feminine romantic aesthetic characterized by delicate details like lace, ruffles, corsets, and soft pastel colors. Oh! Rooted in historical Rococo and balletcore influences, its defining signature is the ubiquitous use of bows and ribbons to create a playful, flirtatious, and charming look. Oh! I like that, coquettish. I like it. One morning, exactly at sunrise, she suddenly showed herself. After working with all this painstaking precision, she yawned and said, "Ah, I am scarcely awake. I beg that you will excuse me, my petals are still all disarranged." But the little prince could not restrain his admiration. "Oh, how beautiful you are!" "Am I not?" the flower responded sweetly. "And I was born at the same moment as the sun." The little prince could guess easily enough that she was not any too modest, but now moving and exciting as she was. "I think it is time for breakfast," she added an instant later. "If you would have the kindness to think of my needs." And the little prince, completely abashed, went to look for a sprinkling can of fresh water, so he tended the flower. So too she began very quickly to torment him with her vanity, which was, if the truth be told, a little difficult to deal with. One day, for instance, when she was speaking of her 4 thorns, she said to the little prince, "Let the tigers come with their claws." "There are no tigers on my planet," the little prince objected, "and anyway, tigers do not eat weeds." He called her a weed? Bro, you gonna take that? "I am not a weed," the flower replied sweetly. "Please excuse me. I am not at all afraid of tigers," she went on, "but I have a horror of drafts. I suppose you wouldn't have a screen for me." I feel like this is kind of familiar, this quote. I feel like I read it. Actually, I think I read it in Absolute Regression. They quoted this. "I am not at all afraid of tigers," she went on. "I have a horror of drafts. Suppose you wouldn't have a screen for me." "A horror of drafts? That is bad luck for a plant," remarked the little prince, and added to himself, "This flower is a very complex creature." He really said, "Man, my girlfriend needy." "At night, I want you to put me under a glass globe. It is very cold where you live, in the place I came from. But she interrupted herself at that point. She had come in the form of a seed. She could not have known anything of any other worlds. Embarrassed over having let herself be caught on the verge of such a naive untruth, she coughed 2 or 3 times in order to put the little prince in the wrong. The screen. It's like, don't mind my little slip up. The screen, little prince. What a queen. She kind of reminds me of those anime characters that say, oh ho 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 ho, like the little laugh. I was just going to look for it when you spoke to me. The little prince was really like, I was just gonna get it, damn. It's like my mom sometimes. She tells me to do something, and I was already gonna do it. Then she forced her little cough a little more, so that he should suffer from remorse just the same. So the little prince, in spite of all the goodwill that was inseparable from his love, had soon come to doubt her. He had taken seriously words which were without importance, and it made him very unhappy. Aww. He had taken seriously words which were without importance, made him very unhappy. Yeah, I feel like that would make me unhappy too. I ought not to have listened to her, he confided to me one day. One never ought to listen to the flowers. One should simply look at them and breathe their fragrance. Mine perfumed all my planet, but I did not know how to take the pleasure in all her grace. This tale of claws, which disturbed me so much, should only have filled my heart with tenderness and pity. And he continued his confidences. The fact that I did not know how to understand anything. I ought to have judged by deeds and not by words. She cast her fragrance and her radiance over me. I ought never to have run away from her. I thought I ought to have guessed all the affection that lay behind her little straight gems. What's that? Flowers are so inconsistent, but I was too young to know to love her. Yeah. I want to dissect that a little. I was too young to know to love her. Like strategy, but stratagems. Oh, I see. I ought to have guessed all the affection that lay behind her poor little stratagems. I see. That last sentence, though. I feel like I can relate this to a friendship I had with another friend a former friend of mine. She had a lot of, let's say, needs that I don't think she really took care of herself very well. And there were a lot of things that I needed to be considerate about. And I don't think I was in the proper stage of mental growth to be able to be the kind of friend she needed at the time. That is to say, I think I was too young to know to love her. I don't know, maybe it's kind of like that, but maybe I'm taking a little too literally. I wonder what this saying really is trying to imply, though. I want to think about it before I look it up. What do you think, Rennie? What do you think that this story of the flower is saying? maybe some people don't work out together at a certain stages of life. Yeah, I think that might be the more closer to the interpretation that the story is trying to tell us and what I wanted to get across. Like, I had friends who I got along with fine in school, yeah. And then after school, it just didn't work out for various reasons. Yeah, guess that's just how life is. You meet each other. Sometimes you meet each other when you're not ready for each other. I think maybe that could also be said for our friendship, Rennie. I think when we were younger, in high school, I don't think I appreciated you as much as I should have. Seeing how much of a, how, I don't know, I can't talk. How such a considerate and sweet person you are. It was after we reconnected that I was at a stage where I had grown a little more mentally on my journey, and I'm sure you have as well. So we were able to reconnect that way. And so people who were at different growths came back together. I think that's a story that is more ideal. Oh no, my headphones died. Give me 1 second. Sometimes people don't change or we change and don't match. Oh yeah, that's true. 1 second. Oh. Sometimes when my headphone dies, it kind of dampens the sound everywhere. Sorry, I hit my mic again. Is it connected? Not connected. There it is. Yeah, it's been rough waters the last however many years. You could say that again. Oh my god. Let me look it up, the meaning of that. I feel like we interpreted it correctly, but I feel like we interpreted it correctly based on our experiences. I feel like, oh, congrats on the 25 stream streak, Rennie. Thank you. Dang, 25. Little Prince. Significance of the flower of the rose. Meaning of the rose. The Little Prince, the rose symbolizes love, vulnerability, vanity, and responsibility that comes with deep personal attachments. She represents a complex, idealized beloved who is both beautiful and demanding, teaching the prince that true love requires nurturing, patience, and acceptance of imperfections. Oh, that makes so much sense. That the same should be true to same is so much true to I can't talk. It's a good thing we're ending stream soon. Yes, I love this. These symbolic aspects of the rose: complex love and romantic attachment. The rose is modeled after Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's wife. Oh, some fun facts here. Consuelo, embodying a relationship that is simultaneously loving, high maintenance, and fragile. Vulnerability and vanity. She is proud, vain, and naive, using her thorns to protect herself, which masks her insecurities and dependence on the prince. Oh, I see. That makes so much sense. Man, I wish I had an analytical brain for this. That makes so much sense. Okay. The importance of investment. The fox teaches that the time the prince spent on his rose is what makes her unique and special, representing how effort creates value in relationships. That's so true. How effort creates value in relationships. You should teach that to your partner, Benny. He should read The Little Prince and get it in his noggin. How effort creates value in relationships. Responsible care. I'll beat it in his noggin for you if you let me. He has read The Little Prince and he's still like that. I bet he read it without even considering the actual messages behind every one of these words. Yeah, he needs to reread it. He clearly didn't understand anything. He probably read through it once and be like, ah, silly book. Silly children's book. Responsible care. I should make him watch Why Women Kill with me. You should do it. Do it. You know, scare him into behaving properly. Responsible care. The rose represents taming someone, making one responsible for their well-being, as shown by the prince watering her and protecting her with a globe. The unique versus ordinary. Initially, the prince thinks his rose is special, then discovers thousands like her on Earth, only to realize his is unique because he loves her, focusing on personal significance over superficial uniqueness. Dude. Oh, I love that. Let me just screenshot this. My god, I love this analysis. Thank you, AI Overview. Let me post this into the Discord. I loved it. I might read this again just to get it into my head a little clearer. I'm so glad we picked this up. I think I did read like a synopsis or like an analysis of The Little Prince, but I couldn't get into it fully because I kept zoning out. Not very good at listening to like lectures or long documentaries, but having read this myself puts a lot more value and significance to me. The story of The Little Prince. Let me put it in the chat. Or actually, maybe I'll put it in... Where should I put it? The writer's room? I don't know. Maybe I'll make a new channel so I can save the quotes that I want to remember or the significances of them. I like that. I'm gonna put it in my star garden. Let's see. Since this story about this rose led me to make this channel, maybe I'll name it Memories of a Rose. Memoirs, maybe? Memories of a Rose. There you go. I'm gonna post the screenshot in there. I think that concludes the bedtime story for the night. And we're leaving it off at chapter 9. I hope you all enjoyed the story, and I hope it helped of you who are going to sleep get some proper sleep with this ASMR reading. If you fell asleep during this, then it'll work. It'll work. If you don't know what happened after you fell asleep, I can always do a little recap before starting again next. Oh, you're all caught up? I bet they fell asleep. Yeah, me too. I bet they all fell asleep. Sweet little star kid. Alright. That's the end of this stream. I will end it here. We already discussed the upcoming streams last stream. I won't do it here. And we'll end it completely with this healthy message from the Rose. The meaning of complex love and romantic attachment, the importance of investments, vulnerability and vanity, responsible care, unique versus ordinary. Alright. I'm gonna send you all off to your bed. Imagine me giving you each goodnight kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And then using my stardust powder to gently float you all to your comfortable cloud bed. And with my blanket woven from the galaxy, the stars, I blanket you with the night. Pray that you have the sweetest dreams and a restful night. Nighty-night, my lovely darling. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.